Today on StampTV, I'm going to show you a clean and simple card project featuring the new StampTV kit, The Simple Things. Let me show you the tools and products you need to make this card project. First, you're going to need some stamps, and the stamps I'm using are from the Simple Things StampTV kit, and this is from the stamp set called The Simple Things. I'm using this wheat sprig. I'm using this brick stamp. I love this little background stamp. And then I'm using a greeting stamp that says, "Give thanks for the simple things in life." Then for ink, I'm using the Gina Designs Charcoal Brown and our Kraft ink. You're also going to need some cardstock, and I'm using the Gina Designs Heavy Base Weight Ivory Cardstock, and I have this cut to 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches. Then I'm going to use a Kraft pick to feed some of my twine through this little leaf, and this is one of our wood embellishments. This is from the Autumn Leaves collection, and you also get some of these in the Simple Things StampTV kit. And I'm also going to be using the Score Buddy. Now I wanted to show you, since we're using quite a bit of the baker's twine in these projects, I wanted to show you how our baker's twine compares to other baker's twine. When you purchase baker's twine, you usually pay quite a bit of money for it, and it usually comes in quite a big spool like this. And that kind of limits the amount of colors that you can have. But our baker's twine comes in these cute little mini spools, which means that you can collect lots of colors because they're less expensive, but they still give you quite a bit of twine to do a lot of projects. So not only could you have our Kraft baker's twine, but you could add some of our Red Hot and some of our Christmas Pine to do lots of fun cards and tags for the upcoming holidays. So I'm going to show you how cute these are. I just love our little baker's twine spools. Okay, so we're going to start this card project by scoring a line at 5 1/2 inches. But we're not going to fold the card right away because we're going to stamp on part of the card, as this is going to be a single layer card, and it's a little bit harder to stamp once the card is folded. So let's score this at 5 1/2 inches. Now one thing I wanted to tell you about our heavy base weight cardstock. When you're scoring it, don't just give it a quick little score line and expect a perfect fold. This is a nice heavy weight cardstock. So you're going to need to score it several times to really make sure that that line, that crease, is deeply embedded. And then when you fold the card, you're going to fold away from that crease that you just created, and you can see that there's no cracking there at all. It's just practically folding itself. And that's the best way to fold a heavy base weight cardstock. You won't get any cracks, and it will be a nice crisp fold. Okay. So let's begin stamping this card using the brick stamp and some of the Gina Designs Kraft ink. I'm going to ink up this stamp while it's on its back. It's a little bit easier to do a bigger stamp this way. And then I'm going to stamp this just a little bit off center. So kind of more on the side here. Let me get my glasses on. Okay. So I'm going to stamp that right about here. And with clear stamps, you want to give the stamp an opportunity to transfer all the ink from the stamp to the cardstock. And that takes just a couple seconds longer than it does for rubber, but you'll get a much better impression that way. Okay, so there is my brick wall or my brick background. Then I'm going to grab some of the charcoal brown ink, and I'm going to stamp this wheat sprig, or I'm going to ink this up with the charcoal brown. Now I'm not going to stamp directly onto the brick wall with the entire stamp, but rather just half the stamp, and half is going to be off the wall. And it's going to be a little bit lower as well. So I'm going to stamp it right about there, like that. So this is going to give it more of a collage-y look rather than having a focal image stamped inside of a background. Now for the greeting, I'm again going to use the charcoal brown ink. And I'm going to stamp that right at the bottom. And excuse my head if it gets in the way. I just want to make sure that I have it straight. There we go. So there is this layout, this kind of collage-y looking layout. Now you can go ahead and fold that card in half, and what I like to do is I like to use the scoring tool to really get the crease in there. There we go, and that'll make it lay nice and flat. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some of this twine, and first I'm going to cut a small piece off, and I'm going to make a little charm holder out of that piece of baker's twine. You don't need very much baker's twine for this part, but give yourself enough playroom to actually get it through the charm and to create a little loop. So I'm going to go with about that much there. Then I'm going to just wet it a little bit and twist it. And then I'm going to press it up against the hole. And using my Kraft pick, I'm just going to press it through to the other side. And then grab it on the other side. Okay. So now I'm going to make a loop like that. A loop. And I'm going to feed the two threads through the loop. And that makes a little charm holder. Now these are also very cute for hanging off of gifts and adding to gift tags and things like that. But I'm going to make this part of my twine embellishment up at the top. Then I'm going to grab some more twine and I want to have a little bit of playroom to tie, and I'm going to go around my card 2 times. Let me get that one out of the way. And give myself a little bit of room to tie it. Okay, and then this is going to go up near the top. And then, I want to pull that, oops, that slipped right out of there. Let's try that again. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie just a knot in it just to keep it secure and in place. And then I'm going to add that embellishment. So we want that nice and tight. And then I'm going to feed that twine under the entire thing and then make a little knot. Okay. Now I'm not going to tie the knot completely yet because I'm going to slip this little charm right into the knot, right where I want it to hang, and then I'm going to tighten it. Then you can kind of adjust it as you want it. And then I'm going to tie the knot again, so it's nice and tight. Now you can spread out the baker's twine to tighten the twine, because it might be just a little bit loose. Spread it out a little bit. And then you can cut the free edges off to have a pretty little charm that hangs down on your card. And you can kind of move it around too. You can adjust the twine for wherever you want it to hang. All right. So there is my finished card project. I hope you've enjoyed today's card project. Stay tuned to StampTV for lots of new episodes featuring this brand new StampTV kit, The Simple Things.